And welcome back to the NSLB. We are here tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, roughly, week 3. Got a lot of new exciting things for you folks tonight. The start 2 rest 1 rule for pitchers means we're going to see a couple of new pitchers. We're going to see our last stadium we haven't seen yet. But what I'm most excited for is something that we have yet to share with anybody else, except, of course, my co commentator here, who is, of course, as always, the lovely Iris, owner of the Mario Fireballs. I'm Christian, your play by play, your manager, your emulator guy, and owner of the Luigi Knights. But you're not just going to have to deal with both of us in voice, because Iris, if you'd like to say hi, we're here now.
Hi.
Look at that, it's
Yeah, I'm
us.
pretty excited for week 3. As we can see here, uh, team standings are shaking out to a pretty standard distribution here.
Yeah, things are going in the right direction, at least for me. We don't have any more ties, thankfully, but that could change coming up here. Luigi Knights, first right now, taking a bye this week. My center fielder Autumn, I think, mentioned something about karaoke, but I'm here with you folks tonight. So as long as PD Piranha doesn't need me to bail them out, I'll let them do what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow that up with the Wilds. Very exciting win last week at Peach's Ice Garden. Kind of a slow start. Monarchs put up a 5 spot out of nowhere, and the Wilds responded with a 5 spot out of nowhere, and then it was kind of a slow end. Daisy Flowers had the bye last week, so they'll be playing again this week, trying to hold that kind of high spot. Rookies and Monsters, another exciting game last week. Bowser won that one for the Monsters, keeping the inning alive by tying it up and then giving Dry Bones a walk-off homer. Very exciting. And then down towards the lower end of the standings, we have the Bows, who did beat the Muscles last week for their first win, 4-3. The Fireballs, who had a, you know, weaker showing on at the plate than they would like, but I'm sure they've been warming up. Iris will talk all about it when we're due up, and they're going to put on a real show for us this week. And lastly, we've got the Monarchs and the Muscles, 2 teams still hunting for their first win after 2 weeks. They are playing each other tonight, so somebody's going to come out of this week better than they came into it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I well, I mean, if you're telling me that you predicted every single one of these standings, frankly, I don't believe you. Obviously, it's pretty early on, uh, only being 2 games into the series, and a couple teams only having played one of those games. I think it's kind of interesting seeing the Wilds there at the 2-0 spot. Um, it's Calvin's team. I think doesn't have as many like super big heavy hitters, but it does have a lot of chemistry in it. So I am curious to see how that'll continue playing out as the weeks go on.
It does, and both of those Wilds wins were pretty convincing, as you can tell by the run differential. So whether or not it's beginner's luck or they've really caught lightning in a bottle here, we will have to find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I believe that's all I have to say about where they stand. Should I start looking at what we've got lined up for game 1 tonight?
I think that's a great idea.
And wouldn't you know it, we're here too. I've changed up the graphics a little bit. I think I'm getting better at all this. Tonight we've got first game, Birdo Bows at the Mario Fireballs, going to Mario Stadium. Birdo Bows, Cowboys Axe team, are going to start with Red Shy Guy, first baseman. Batting second and third, shortstop Birdo, second baseman Yoshi. Really likes keeping the captains in the middle infield, Zach does. Blue Pianta going to start as pitcher again, getting a star this week, which is new from last. Pitched a pretty good game last week. The first 6 innings went very smoothly. Did give up a 2-run shot to King Boo in the 7th, but it wasn't enough of a rally to bring the Muscles back. Toadsworth going to be third baseman. Left field, Red Pianta. Catcher, Green Noki. Center fielder, Red Noki. And Zach himself going to play right, bringing up the rear of the order. And I'm not going to bother going down the fireballs with you because we've got the owner right here to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're leading off with our shortstop, Red Critter, who is going to be receiving the star just like last week. Uh, you know, great middle infielder. The idea here is he's going to be able to get on base so that our combination of the three bros, Hammer Bro at third, Boomerang Bro at first, and this week a bit of a change, Fire Bro at second. Hopefully we have some real home run threats here. Then we got Red Madge taking the plate for the first time, or taking the mound, excuse me. It's a kind of interesting decision here that I'll get to as soon as we just finish out the lineup. Myself at center field, Mario in right field rather than the pitcher's mound this time, Red Toad in left field, and Baby Daisy once again catching. It's kind of interesting. I think that Mario is going to be sort of the overall kind of better pitcher choice in a lot of situations. However, having Mario in right field rather than the really slow Fire Bro allows us to have a much faster outfield while still being able to have a super diver in Fire Bro in the middle infield. So hopefully, we're not going to get maybe as many strikeouts. We're not going to sort of keep balls to the infield as much, but we have a much more competent outfield to take care of anything that might sort of slip away from our pitcher here.
And there's a lot that's going to slip away in the outfield this week. Mario Stadium. I know last week the Fireballs playing at the Knights. I said then, and I really think we saw it in that game, the deep outfield and high wall at Luigi's Mansion. Certainly not the deepest or the highest in the league, but on the greater side of those, really did neutralize a couple of kind of medium to low trajectory line drives that might have gotten out on a stadium like, I don't know, Mario Stadium, where we're about to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So hopefully my home park is going to benefit me here in today's game. Although Zach is certainly bringing a heck of a team. The only way to find out what's going to happen is to get right into it.
I think you are correct. I'm just going to adjust audio a little bit. Hello to all the folks in the chat. Feel free to give me feedback on adjusting everything, but I think I've at least got what I need for you to see and hear what we're doing. So let's get into playing some baseball.
Sounds good.
You can see my screen, right? It should be sharing. Yeah, it's sharing.
Yes.
Alrighty. Which means we're up to it, folks. Red Magic Koopa keeping him outside for Red Shy Guy, starting off with a couple of balls.
And a very nice hit that I will immediately field out on the warning track. The bananas were a bit scary there for a second, but just land harmlessly around me. As we have Birdo up to the plate, kind of surprised she wouldn't go for a star hit. Fire Bro showing why. I'm not sure if you were aware. He was actually originally drafted out of college as a shortstop, and I think we really see those reps coming in play here.
I believe
As
it.
he's already being made to work at his new position, first time playing second base in his professional career. He seems right at home.
Certainly more at home on the this side of the order. I think a lot of the Fireballs are. But Blue Pianta did well last week. We're going to have to find out now, but against probably the toughest long ball hitters in the league, whether or not he can hold that. And Red Critter drives
That
one
will just go foul.
deep, but it's foul into left. Opts for contact, and we've got some super divers on the Bosun field too to make sure that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if hitting for contact is really the move you want to make with a Birdo Yoshi infield. Feels like any ball that has a low traj is just going to get sucked up. That does not have a low traj though, but the buddy jump gets there in time. Some insane height there. And Hammer Bro is robbed of a home run.
That chemistry outfield doing God's work for the Bows. I wasn't sure that they had the speed to get under it, but me's 6 out of 10 in all stats, I guess just about can manage.
Mm-hmm.
But no field's perfect.
Oh.
Boomerang Bro lines one deep into center, gets past Red Noki for a single.
Mm-hmm. I would really love to see these bros start pushing or pulling the ball a bit more, if I'm being totally honest, as that will end the inning. Just makes it a lot easier to actually avoid the buddy jumps if you are going for those corners of the home run zone.
Absolutely, but with great power comes poor contact, as we may just see with Blue Pianta here, who's kind of in that same boat of hitters. Now, one thing, folks, you might notice as he's out there and right, Mario deciding to swap his team colors of the Fireballs for the Baltimore Orioles. I looked, and it turns out it was in Iris's contract. She was not going to own a team that didn't have an Oriole on it, so we did what we had to.
Yeah, Mario, it's interesting. Early on in his career, he struggled a little bit. He hasn't always been the incredible player we know him to be now. So he actually had to play internationally for a bit over in Baltimore, and he just loved the environment there.
Now, we're looking at 2 on, nobody out for the Bows here. A good single from Toadsworth that might have gotten thrown out to first in time, but Iris opted for second instead. You've got 2 on, nobody out for Red Pianta, who could be the one to open up the scoring this game. But with contact, he leaves things in suspense just a batter longer. And now it's Green Noki up instead. Bases are loaded, no outs. You're not expecting a home run here, but she could still drive something in.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Zach, you really want to see a star swing here. Instead, it's going to be a double play that does score a run. Personally, as the owner of the Fireballs, I'm perfectly happy with that outcome. Trading 2 outs for 1 run in a bases loaded scenario. You can't ask for much more than that, as Red Critter does make the diving play to get the 3rd out.
I think anybody
Roberto Bows
would be.
escape a bases loaded situation with only 1 run. This Magic Koopa shows himself to be a perfectly competent 2-way player. Hits a nice line drive single. The power block almost came into effect. Center fielder got the throw off just a bit too quickly.
Lupianta pitching to you now. Yoshi's going to tongue catch that one. Birdo coming in from short, but doesn't quite turn the double play.
Yeah, ball just got stuck in the glove a little bit, as we do see the premiere of Orioles Mario at the plate.
We may not be the only AI league on the internet here, but we are the only AI league with Orioles Mario, that much is for sure. Who unfortunately grounds one out to short.
Just like the real Baltimore Orioles, he hits right into a double play.
Top of the 3rd already. This game's moving at a pretty good clip. Cowboy Zach grounds one out to Fire Bro at 2nd. We're back to the top of the Bows order. Honestly, with things staying this quick, Red Magic Koopa, not known for his stamina, might not need it.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to work pretty well in an opener or closer role. Just able to throw fireball after fireball. Very fitting for the team that he's a part of.
Birdo got a good eye, really working the count.
Yeah, falls behind it a bit in the count with the 2-2. Has to swing for contact here, and a beautiful single is almost extended into a double. Thankfully, I get that throw off just in time. And Magikoopa is already tired now.
We were talking about it. I think he heard us, remembered he was supposed to call to be subbed. But he stays in for now, lets up a single to Yoshi. That's it now. Magikoopa does not want to risk anything, so...
Yeah, we're going back to the same order. So Fire Bro's going to right field, and then Mario's taking the mound.
That'll be that.
It's
now...
definitely...
Go ahead.
No, it's definitely a weaker outfield by a lot. I have to really hope that we don't have any righties hitting pull home runs. But I think this is the best configuration we can manage.
Now, both the Piantas are righties, but we'll see. They've gone contact so far. And yeah, I think you'll be fine. Mario's got the stamina. He should be all you need to finish this one out.
And we can see more prominently there that Mario does have the Orioles logo on his cap as well.
And as to my point of Piantas going contact, Blue Pianta lines that one out to you in center. Keeps the Bows scoreless in the top of the third. We go into the bottom of the third. The Fireballs getting ready to bat the end of their order with Red Critter at the top, coming up just at the end of this.
And a great shot from Toad. As Baby Daisy comes up to the plate, you know, you don't expect offense from your catcher. You're basically always expecting them to bat ninth. This one is a baby as well, so you can't expect a whole lot from her. But she does line safely into Red Pianta's glove.
I believe you said Baby Daisy's here too when the Fireballs debuted, and that is still accurate. Blue Pianta really almost grazed Red Critter with that one pitch inside, but Red Critter does not want to take a beanball. He wants to go for the whole thing. And this might do it.
It's a bit slow. I think Zach might get there in time. And it's just another out. Can Toad make it back in time? They are able to.
Funny enough, you really are looking for those line drive homers here. I think Boomerang Bro, the medium trajectory normally doesn't help him much, but here, you wonder if it might help. Zach and chat very excited to have neutralized that section of the lineup, but it is not over with 3 Bros to go, and still a man on first. And
another contact shot with 2 outs. I don't know that I can really agree with the decision.
With 2 Bros coming up, though, still plenty of chances to drive them in.
Absolutely. And Boomerang Bro, you know, this is his favorite park. He was so excited when we signed him. And I would just love to see him get that first home run on the board here.
Drafted last of the Bros. You wonder if he's got something to prove here.
Really nice take there. I mean, Blue Pianta's just painting the sides of the plate. And that could be enough to score Toad, and it looks like it will be.
Pianta's got a great arm home, but not great enough. That was a deep one into center left.
And the game's all tied up, and with 2 outs, we still have Bros on the corner bases here. With Fire Bro up to the plate, something big could happen. Another line drive will score another Bro as Red Noki misses the ball. Bro thought about going home there for a second, and you almost wonder with that throw if he could have maybe made it, but you don't want to make the last out at home plate.
I think with some more aggressive base running, you know, Noki's not got the strongest arm. I think it was very possible, but I think even the slightest hesitation and staying safe was the better play. Blue Pianta not terribly happy with that inning, but this game, 1 run is not much in this league. We've seen a lot more than that. Toadsworth.
Absolutely, as we've got Toadsworth actually charging up. I'm not entirely sure about this decision. It looks like it will work though, as we see just how much weaker that outfield gets without Mario in it.
The speed on Fire
You know,
Bro
you have to
already
think
coming
that's a
into
ball
effect.
Mario could have gotten to.
Only ends up being a single for Toadsworth. He was thinking about going for two for just a second there, but opts not to. Red Pianta showing charge really wants this. But Mario's keeping him away from the plate.
Absolutely. I love this decision.
Puts that one over, though. Doesn't have the power to do anything more than be a single. But it is 2 on,
Yeah,
nobody
and
out.
again, questionable base running. Toadsworth absolutely could have gone to third there, even with his slow legs.
AI is generally quite conservative. Green Noki ground out into a double play again, but there's nobody on third for her to bring home with it this time. Oh. Been too long since I clicked, folks. We're good. Red Noki showing charge.
Will pull foul.
It's got the distance, but you gotta keep it in the field. Not that in the field, though, as ground out to Red Critter at short. Ends this one in a pretty routine fashion. Fireballs, bottom of the fourth, going to be batting yourself, Iris here, Mario, and Red Toad. Certainly not the scariest part of their order, but the chemistry items could cause some trouble.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've just been... I know it's a bit strange to say right after he gives up a single, but I've just been real impressed with Blue Pianta's pitching today. You know, I think a Sherman Williams sponsorship might be in his future the way he's just painting the corners of this strike zone.
I certainly think, particularly, even as he does give a long single to Mario, again, AI kind of conservative, decides to keep you on second for now.
Yeah, I'm not sure I quite could have made it to third. I kind of like that take.
Red Toad's going to get a single. Bases loaded, no outs for the Fireballs now. Baby Daisy, not who you want to see in this situation. You wish you were on your next batter. But everybody's got something in them sometimes. Instead, Red Noki catches that one. Iris does not tag up.
I was about to say, I like seeing the charge so that we could at least pull in a sac fly. I didn't quite like how that one felt, though.
And Red Critter opts for contact, lines out to Birdo at short, makes a double play to Yoshi at second. Contact swing from Red Critter there, maybe the most questionable decision of this game. Fireball's still in the lead in the top of the fifth.
Especially on a buddy jump, we would have absolutely had the potential to score at least one. As Red Critter flashes the leather, it's not hard to imagine a gold glove in his future. I know it's early to say it, but I'll start the campaign.
He's certainly been questionable on offense these first 2 games, but his defense is top-notch. Red Magikoopa's not bad either, as he makes a magical catch at second. Gets the second out for the Fireballs. 2 out, nobody on for Birdo, who does not manage to get that one down. Iris is under it in center. 3 bros up in a surprisingly low-scoring game here at Mario Stadium.
Yeah, I'll admit this isn't really what I expected. That could change right now, although, yep, just going to be a long out on the warning track.
Yeah, Hammer Bro gets him high, but not far. Boomerang Bro, though, gonna line one way deep and a 1.5 feet higher, and that'd have been over that low wall out there.
And Zach is able to make it to that ball in time. That's a really impressive play. If you are running in the same direction as the ball, still being able to catch it, it's one of the hardest things you can do in the outfield.
In the infield, also a tough position, but Yoshi at second base manages it pretty good. Now, as we were saying in between innings here, yeah, I have been pretty impressed with Blue Pianta's pitching. I think part of the reason is that he's not generally one of your first picks for starting pitcher. Game certainly puts him pretty middle of the pack as far as stats go, but I think he's really been performing better than he's rated. Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mario, of course, rated pretty well as a pitcher. Does give up a single to Yoshi here to get things started, though.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily want the threat of extra base runners with Pianas at the plate, as Yoshi will think
Oh
about
my
rounding second.
god, Yoshi, the
Doesn't get back
hesitation.
in time.
The hesitation, you have to question it.
Yeah, I mean it's one thing, as that's a really unorthodox double play there. Blue Piana made a move for second. You know, it's one thing, right, if you've got Yoshi getting out at third due to being overly aggressive, but to start being aggressive and then go for the more conservative play, as the POW block actually allows me to be safe to the bag.
Birdo tries to scoop that one up, but doesn't quite do it in time.
But yeah, getting out's just the hesitation and being more conservative. It's kind of the worst way to lose a ball game.
Yoshi trying to make
Although,
up for it by taking a good
yeah,
double
less
play
pleasant
here.
ways to make outs as well. Mario hits into his second double play of the game.
Stats are going to be interesting when I rewatch this one to record them, that's for sure.
And Toad, certainly not known for it, is capable of hitting a home run every now and then. Decides to go for the contact swing, and that's exactly what you want to see from him.
Contact singles really all of the Toad's bread and butter. 2 outs, 1 on
Yeah,
for
he's had
Baby
a really
Daisy,
solid game.
who has had less of a solid game. Both teams I want to mention sitting on a full 5 stars. We have seen neither a star pitch nor a star swing in quite some time for these folks. Baby Daisy goes out looking.
Yeah, it would be nice to see some star swings used. You know, Mario has a really good captain swing. We've got some perfectly adept line drive hitters.
Red
That one
Pianta.
just gets by Red Critter.
Red Pianta aboard. But how many innings this game have the Bows had 1 on, nobody out, and just not turned anything? We're in the top of the 7th. They're already at their last chance to make a difference. And
Oh
Red
my
Critter
goodness.
misses a throw at second. Error gets Green Noki aboard. She was fixing to ground out into her 3rd double play of the game, and Red Critter just misses the throw.
It's because I said something about the Gold Glove.
Well,
That could be. Red Critter held up. You almost wondered if that didn't have the potential to be a triple play.
it may have been, but after screwing up one throw, he's not itching to screw up another this close.
And finally, we get a star pitch. Although, with a 0-0 count, I don't quite see the utility, I'll admit.
Does not make a
still turns
difference.
the out anyway. As. Wait.
Waiting?
Oh, we're doing 7-inning games for this.
Yes. Yes, 7 inning games here in the NSLB. You know, not
I like the two bros dancing.
not the most convincing win the Fireballs are likely to put up this season, but a win is a win. 2-1. Bows, you know, you really have to question some base running decisions there. You really, really have to question some batting decisions there. I just don't think we saw enough charge shots from the power hitters on their lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although, you know, I will commend the defense. We talk about how it was not quite as convincing of a win. There were, I believe, 2 home run robberies in that game, so the scoreboard could have looked very different. Unfortunately, they just didn't have quite enough to back up that defense at the plate.
Absolutely. And those home runs, the buddy jump is not an impenetrable shield. It really isn't. You can get them too high or too fast for the buddy jump to get underneath it, but none of the home runs from the Fireballs today had either of those. But don't get me wrong, we'll still see some later this league. Some absolute no doubters surely coming up, and we'll see who might have a chance to hit them. In game 2 here, Peach Monarchs at Wario Muscles going to Wario City. This is the game I'm most excited for tonight. I don't know about you. Two teams, both 0-2. Both teams still trying to find their footing, making a few changes from both sides here as we come into week 3. We've got West Zach's Monarchs going to be batting in roughly the same order. Blue Drybones still lead off, Toadette still second. Pink Yoshi going to come in third here. Wiggler, Funky Kong, a good duo. You've got a great contact hitter and your best power hitter, one after the other. Zach going to be batting after that. Peach, Gray Shy Guy, and Teal Yoshi bringing up the rear. Now, a lot of position changes from the Monarchs here. We still see Toadette playing second, and Pink Yoshi still in left. But Wiggler, catcher last week, if memory serves, moving to the outfield now, right field. Peach, normally a great pick for starting pitcher, is actually going to be out in center field. Gray Shy Guy going to be shortstop. That's as it always is. But Zach going to take the mound. They were pitching last game, not for terribly long, but they did all right. And I think as a starting pitcher, it's going to be an interesting way to really give the Miis a test. We have not seen a lot of Miis on the mound yet this season, and I look forward to Zach being the guinea pig who can show us what they're capable of.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in this team, I see a team that's really struggling to find their identity. You've got some really compelling pieces here, and I think it's just going to be about, figuring out the synergy between them, finding those configurations that work out well to get the most that this team can get out of every player on it.
Another team trying to get the most out of every player available is, of course, the home team tonight, the Wario Muscles, who are 0-2. Week 1 was a bit tough for them, but last week was just a one-run loss. And, you have to really look at the way things are going for the Muscles. You just need some power hitters to drive people home. They can get on base, but they've got a lot more contact hitters than they do power. You're looking at King Boo and Yellow Pianta you're relying on to drive things in, really, here. And the Piantas, as we've seen this week, not always the most reliable power hitters. But 2-run shot from King Boo last week. If he gets one more over the wall this week than he did last week, that could be all the difference maker the Muscles need.
Yeah, absolutely.
And folks,
I think you've got some really really strong players on on this team. Perhaps some more streaky hitters, a la Yellow Pianta, but absolutely a team that is capable of picking up wins. I'm really excited to see who's going to come out on top.
absolutely. We had some discussion in the chat on our server, of course. You're always welcome to join our Discord if you're not there already. Link should be in the description. Ask for it if it ain't. But we had some discussion between these owners in the chat beforehand. Nate, owner of the Muscles, said he's been doing a lot of theory crafting, a few practices. Zach, owner of the Monarchs, has said that they just plan on throwing whatever they can at the wall to throw the Muscles off their game. It's two very different strategies, and I look forward to seeing which one comes out on top.
Yeah, I actually got to catch up with Nate, the owner of the Muscles, in an interview earlier this week. He said that his testing made it seem like he could maybe come out on top in most simulations, although the margins were pretty razor thin. So I think we could we could end up with a really nice game here today.
Well, then, far be it from me to hold it up. Let's get some baseball going.
And I know it's been said multiple times at this point, but I cannot stress enough how much every time I see Nate's me, that is just Nate.
Even in
That's just what he looks like.
even back in 2006, Nintendo got character creation right. I'm glad somebody got something right tonight, as Blue Drybones, normally an excellent leadoff hitter, does record the first out pretty quickly here. Toadette trying to go yard, but doesn't quite have the pop in her bat. Nate's got that one in left center, way at the warning track, and Pink Yoshi up to bat for the Monarchs now. Already 2 outs recorded. Red Yoshi at second, gonna make that 3.
Yeah, quick 1-2-3 inning, thanks to some pretty nice defense from all parts of the field.
The Muscle's really going to be looking to make a lot of those happen tonight. They've got pitching depth, but none quite as good as King Boo. You want to keep him in there as long as you can.
And Wiggler, still getting used to right field out there. I believe this is his first career game out there.
Normally a pretty fast character, but Wario is not a bad hitter by any stretch. Not a great runner, though, as Yellow Shy Guy grounding out to Toadette at second is going to make the double play possible. You've got 2 out, nobody on for Waluigi now.
Yeah, that ball drops just in front of Peach.
I've seen this game. I've seen outfielders catch balls from that same number of pixels away, but that one counts as a single. Red Yoshi going to try and keep this inning alive. Does, with 1 out into right. That's actually going to be a double for Red Yoshi.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of them, especially from the Yoshis. But kind of just hit it to the perfect spot right between the right fielder and the center fielder. It's the classic baseball advice: hit it where they ain't.
Now we were just talking about
King Boo hits it where they ain't, getting a run at home. Although King Boo, such a slow runner, you wonder if Wiggler couldn't have thrown the ball to first and had a decent shot at getting the out.
I definitely don't think that out at first was guaranteed, but I definitely think it was more likely than the throw home.
Yeah, on 2 outs, there's literally no reason to throw home in that situation.
But one, all the muscles are going to be able to put up in the bottom there as Paragoomba grounds 1 out into the infield. Monarchs have Wiggler, Funky Kong, Zack batting now. Wiggler showing charge, normally a very good contact hitter, but deciding to go for something different today. Misses on strike 2, though. Gotta take whatever King Boo gives you now.
Yeah, when you get behind in the count, when you are on 0-2, you're just in complete protect the plate mode, and you really want to be able to get on base so that Funky Kong can step up to the plate. Funky Kong is absolutely this team's premier home run hitter, and hits one just off the wall. That was inches from being out.
And it's a pretty low wall in Wario City here. I thought it was a little strange when Nate didn't seem to be jumping for it, but I guess he had a better view of it than I did.
And oh my goodness, that was almost a triple play.
We'll see 1 or 2 of those in this league, but not right now. Funky Kong does stay on first. Peach batting with 2 out for the Monarchs now.
And some questionable infield defense there. Yoshi does not stick out his extremely long tongue to catch that ball. It was right up the middle. Maybe he thought that Wario had it, didn't want to get in the way of that play. But regardless, it gets Peach on base.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where chemistry really makes a difference as Gray Shy Guy lines that out to Yellow Pianta in left. Wario and Yoshi, not characters with actively negative chemistry, but maybe not working together as tightly as some of our other middle infields do. Yellow Pianta grounds that one out to Funky Kong at first. Funky Kong, not just not on the DK Wilds, but I believe the only Kong not on the DK Wilds. Doing all right
Yeah,
for
I
the
believe that
Monarchs,
is
though.
true.
Wiggler has a little trouble fielding that one in right. Purple Toad is going to get on first. Nate now batting with one on first and one out.
Yeah, and you know, Funky does really seem right at home there as sort of that archetypical first baseman, real power hitter, big body guy who can scoop up those balls out there. Call him Pita Kongzo. That's a joke for me.
I know, but I laugh at it for your sake all the same.
Yay.
Top of the third now for the Monarchs as Nate grounded out into a double play there. Boo item did not change anything for the Muscles. King Boo pitching a great game, but already getting tired here. You really like to see at least 3 full innings out of him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to quite get it.
You're going to get one step closer, though, as Blue Drybones 0 for 2 now today after that blooper out to right field for Yellow Shy Guy. Not to be confused with Blooper the player, who will be coming up later tonight.
Yeah, and King Boo does allow that hit. You know, his curve is not good in the best of times.
But Yoshi's not the most threatening at the plate, and that one gets out to Yellow Pianton left for a pretty routine out. Muscles lead by 1 coming into the bottom of the third. Back at the top of their order with Wario, Yellow Shy Guy, Waluigi up to bat. Wario's going to get a leadoff single. That's what you need your first hitter to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zach decides to use the star pitch on an 0-0 count. But Pink Yoshi makes an error on that line drive from Yellow Shy Guy, and what should have been an out turns into a double.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the scorekeeper records that. I have to imagine that's going to be an E7.
Waluigi, technique character, decides to go for the star swing, does end up having to sacrifice himself, but on no outs with a man on third, completely reasonable play.
Yeah, you're extremely happy to take a sacrifice grounder in that situation, as the Muscles do go up 2-0.
And Red Yoshi, looking to do the same, takes a sacrifice grounder. Gray Shy Guy, good shortstop for the Monarchs. Probably could have considered throwing home there. King Boo, tired of all the infield plays, wants to go for the whole thing, but doesn't get it out. Pink Yoshi's underneath that, and Peach is there for moral support.
Yeah, it looks like Peach was kind of trying to pull a bit of a Ken Griffey Jr. there in that situation. Allowed Pink Yoshi to get the ball in the end.
Now, I at least know who Ken Griffey is. He was on The Simpsons once.
Yeah, so there's a very famous play from Ken Griffey Jr.'s time on the Mariners where Ken Griffey Jr., the center fielder, ran over and stole a ball that was about to land right in the glove of the left fielder, Ken Griffey Sr.
I'll have to go watch that sometime. But we're here watching...
Yep, watch the John Boyce Mariners doc. It's really good.
We're here watching Funky Kong ground out into a double play. Muscles looking for a pitching change. Now, I need to check.
I don't think I've seen Nate here tonight in the chat.
Let me see. I don't have anything from him active right now, but I can double check. I'm pretty confident he did give me an order ahead of time. I just need to come back here and take a look for it. Yes. Okay, so Wario is coming in for first relief. Waluigi will come in for second relief if needed.
Gotcha.
King Boo gonna go to short. His arm is tired, but let's hope his lack of legs aren't.
Now Wario is kind of known for his tricky pitching style. We'll have to see if he uses any of those star pitches that almost look like two balls at the same time.
I expect to see several of them. Unfortunately, the AI not fooled by the splitter as often as Wario would like. Still, with the muscles up 3 in the bottom of the fourth here, even if Paragoomba does line that one out to second, they're starting to feel a little more comfortable, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's a base hit for Yellow Pianta. You know, not the strongest hit by any means, but just targeting that shallow center field, I think is really a strength of this team.
Yep, and contact hitters include Purple Toad, but Wiggler's underneath that one. Yellow Pianta gets back in time.
Yeah, that is the danger with that style of hitting, right? Just like you put a little too much juice on the ball and it's right to the right fielder.
Certainly, some of these hitters are known for their contact. You can kind of predict what they're doing if you're in the outfield. Muscles neutralized at the bottom of the fourth. Monarchs come into the top of the fifth with Peach, Gray, Shy Guy, Teal, Yoshi up. Gonna need to do something soon here, but they put up a 5 spot last game, so we know they can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good fastball from Wario. You don't see a lot of those. Went right over the plate, but Peach did not make good contact on it, and King Boo had it pretty easily at short.
Yeah, Wario's really showing himself as a pretty great contact pitcher. You know, in this league especially, strikeouts aren't quite the goal, although we do see that splitter here. Cyan Yoshi decides to just take. You can't blame him, as he does line in, I believe, all 3 outs that inning were to the middle infielder. That's where Wario really knows how to shine.
Absolutely. 2 from King Boo, 1 from Red Yoshi.
And I'll tell you where else Wario knows how to shine is right here behind the plate.
Had a good single the first inning. Gray Shy Guy gonna make an error at short to let him aboard for another.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those ones. It really depends on how the scorekeeper's feeling that day. You could call that an E6, or you could say, you know, it would be extremely hard to actually properly field that ball.
Wouldn't have been impossible to field that ball, though, as Toadette misses a dive at second. You've now got 2 on, nobody out for the muscles. Waluigi sacrificed Star Swing last inning. Probably not going to go for it again with nobody on third, but going to see if he can get the bases loaded here. Cannot instead lines out to Toadette at second, who makes up for that last miss by pulling a double play. Zach's still on the mound, also been pitching pretty well this game. You know, not spectacularly letting up 3 and 5, but I think in this league, if you can keep your ERA at about 3, no higher than maybe 4, you're not doing too bad. Blue Drybone's finally going to get on base today.
Yeah, right now Zach's pitching to the tune of a 4.2 ERA this game. Not the worst. You know, certainly if you're getting that out of your 2, you're not upset.
Wario's ERA potentially going to be going up here, as the Monarchs have 2 on and nobody out. But pitches to contact. Red Yoshi makes the grab at second, does not turn the double play, decides to throw out at first for the easy one. But with a fast and good contact hitter up with Wiggler, and Power coming up with Funky Kong next, you definitely want to get out of this one. But the Muscles do not.
Yeah.
Yellow Shy Guy, or Gray Shy Guy, crosses the plate. Sorry, Yellow Shy Guy's the one who grabbed that. No, Blue Drybones
Mm-hmm.
crosses the plate. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, Radioshi, he's always had that reach. He's always had these incredible diving plays that sort of betray how poor of a middle infielder he can be at times, in that he just has so much trouble getting the ball out of the glove.
Oh my god.
As Nate's just gonna watch that one sail by, I can't help but feel like he could have done a little hop, or even just like stretched his hand upwards to prevent that home run.
That did not have a
You
lot
gotta
of
question how much he wants it.
that did not have a lot of height on it as Funky Kong hit that one out to center, but it had enough. Top of the sixth, and the Monarchs down all game, now lead by one. Zach gonna keep this inning alive. You know, if you're the Muscles here, Red Shy Guy making an error at second, things still going. Zach gonna get to third. Runners on the corners with one out for the Monarchs. Things are starting to look grim. You really have to wonder about Nate in center field now after some of these plays, but I don't know who else you put there. Gray Shy Guy getting aboard with a single and sending somebody home. Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been an absolute disastrous inning for Wario after what was seeming like a really solid relief appearance.
Yeah, Waluigi was the planned closer for this game. I wonder if I won't see him coming in second instead. But finally, King Boo at short turns a double play off that grounder from Teal Yoshi. Finally stops the bleeding. Wario not happy with himself. There's that 5 spot from the Monarchs I was just talking about. Muscle's going to need to put up 2 as we go into the bottom of the 6th. Certainly they've got the capability, but they're going to have to perform now. Can't just rest on your laurels for the rest of this game.
Yeah. It would certainly be heartening to see KB hit a solo shot here. I'm not actually sure if that arrow helped King Boo.
I don't think
I
it
don't
hurt
think he
him.
would have had enough room to leg it out to second no matter what, but you would have liked to see that hit the back wall.
Instead,
And instead, it's going to be Paragoomba hitting into a double play. He's so good at doing that.
the double plays have their very own stat category in our sheet, and I look forward to finding out who hit into the most of them at the end of the season. Yellow Pianta, a weak one into the outfield, doesn't even get out to the track. And with that, the Monarchs are back to the top of their order, up by 2. We're at the top of the 7th. This is their last chance to do anything, and then it's up to the Muscles to show what they're made of.
Yeah, good take. You know, let Wario do his casual cheating. Let him throw his splitter, and then just eat him alive on the second pitch. It's been the process. Multiple runners. I think.
All right,
Yeah, I think Zach's team has just figured them out today.
Wario's done. I think, short is an interesting position for him, but it seems like it's a better one than the mound after a game like this. We'll see if Waluigi can't close this up. And
Well, he's on third base now.
Right, but he started at short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Superstars, he's actually a really solid shortstop.
No super dive makes him a little weaker in sluggers, but he's done okay there. It's the mound where he's the problem. Paragoomba misses that one at first, but Blue Drybones doesn't run. He was so sure he was going to have to get back on that bag. And so it's all a wash for Pink Yoshi. Wiggler going to keep the inning alive, though. Gets Pink Yoshi to third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. For home run hitter Funky Kong. Can he do it again?
Yeah, and I mean, a home run from Funky Kong, it feels like would just about seal this game. It is just going to be hit out to the warning track, barring any bobbles from Yellow Shy Guy. Yellow Shy Guy does his job, sets his team up for success, and now the Warriors the Wario Muscles have 3 chances to make a miracle happen right in front of all their fans here at their home park.
Last week we saw a comeback at home down 2 for the Bowser Monsters. I would love to see a second one.
Yeah, and Pink Toad.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah, Nate and Wario here. Not the runners. You know, you are perfectly excited to see them up at the plate, right? You want to believe that the owner, right, when the going gets tough, you want all the responsibility to be on him.
Well, Nate manages to keep the inning going here with a single. Boo item doesn't really do much. Zach's starting to get tired. Really wants to go for that complete game, though. They've only got 2 outs left to pitch.
Yeah, you'd kind of like to see Wario charging here, you know, eat a tired pitcher up alive. As, oh my goodness, that's just barely a double play. Zach manages their complete game.
You'd really
as they
love
secure
to...
their first win of the season. Just some beautiful defense there, trailing the entire game right until they put up 5 runs in 1 inning. Managed to hold on to the lead.
And the Muscles just don't have an answer for it. So the Monarchs going to go to 1-2, putting their first win on the board. The Muscles, for all their theory crafting, might still have a little bit to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's sometimes a team is going to score 5 runs off of you. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I certainly think that home run from Funky Kong, if that had been a little lower, you know, Nate's underneath it, you really change the trajectory of this game. Sometimes it's just one hit, one play that makes all the difference in a game like this. We've been moving at a pretty good clip tonight, folks. I think we're about 15 minutes ahead of where I predicted we might be. So what we're going to do is probably, I think, have a little bit of an intermission. I'm going to stretch my legs, hit the pen, all the things I'm best known for doing. And let me just check. Yes, so we're about 15 minutes ahead of where I thought we'd be. Game 3, Rhiannon Flowers going to see the rookies at Bowser Jr.'s Playroom. I'm going to target 8:15 for that. So I'm going to shut us up for a second here, let everybody relax. Smittix, not the official sponsor of the NSLB, but if you'd like to join me, feel free. Iris, anything you got to say before I quiet us down for a little bit?
No, not really. Just, you know, we've had 2 really exciting games of baseball, and I think we've got 2 nice matches remaining for when we return.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we'll see y'all before you know it. All right, folks, we're back. Just a little ahead of where we wanted to be. But that just gives us more time to talk about Game 3 here tonight. Daisy Flowers at the Bowser Jr. Rookies going to the playroom. Flowers not making any changes from week 1. They had the bye last week. Now, it worked out quite well for them. But as we saw, the Flowers are very much a small ball team. And this kind of stadium, not a lot of opportunities to play the kind of game they were playing on the Cruiser. So this is really going to be a good test of strength for the Flowers to see what kind of a road team they can be. You'll still be having Monty Mole at catcher, starting pitcher still Daisy. She will be subbed out next week for I'm not sure yet. Looking forward to seeing what Rhiannon has cooking. You've got left fielder Yellow Toad, center fielder Rhiannon, and right field Yellow Yoshi, all batting pretty close to each other in the order, with Blue Critter kind of breaking that up to give it a little bit of power. That outfield for the Flowers really going to be invaluable in a stadium like this, and against a team like this with some big hitters. Yellow Magic Koopa shortstop, Green Paratroopa second base, Blooper still on third. What are you thinking about the Flowers, Iris?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting lineup, top to bottom. Like you said, a very small ball oriented team. Uh, Not sure if that plays quite as well on Bowser's Castle. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if the sort of the lineup order is quite how I would construct it, but it'll be interesting to see what this team's capable of accomplishing. And they definitely have their work cut out for them going up against the Bowser Jr. rookies. Starting off, batting leadoff is Bowser Jr., the captain of this team, playing center. Batting second, we've got a starred Red Koopa manning second base, Dark Bones out in right field. King K. Rool is actually going to be catching this game. Original Critter at short, Goomba third base. August, the team's owner, at first. Madge is going to be out in left field, and Baby Peach is taking the mound. I think this is a really interesting team. I'm really curious to see. I believe this is the pitching debut of Baby Peach.
As a starter, she's pitched in
As a starter, yes.
both games previously,
Yeah,
but
it'll be interesting to see what she's capable of. I think this team absolutely has some threats in it. You've got home run capabilities. You've got good defense. You've got some good contact hitters with the likes of Dark Bones. All around, I'm pretty happy with this team, and I'm excited to see what they'll do on their home stadium.
yeah, certainly absolute last second heartbreaking loss for the rookies last week. They're looking to get back on top of that. I know August in the chat does not want to be reminded, which is most of the reason I'm going to. But hey, it's a new week, another chance to make up for it. August is excited. Everybody else in the chat's excited. Hello to all of you. Feel free to say hello. Hop in the Discord if you ain't yet, and let's get some baseball going. Daisy Flowers at Rookies. Zach is not here to gloat. I have to do it for him. Leadoff single from Monty Mole. Really one of the Flowers, I think, most underestimated players coming into this season. Doing just fine, doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, he's establishing himself. Unfortunately, his slow base running is going to be pretty noticeable there as Daisy comes in and immediately turns a double play. But Monty Mole has exceeded all expectations. At this moment, I don't think it's crazy to say he could be one of the Rookie of the Year frontrunners.
Yeah, as much like all Mario sports games, you really just wish Daisy could be as good as Monty Mole.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Daisy, she's a bit of a slow starter. Some might even say a warm weather merchant. So I wonder as the season progresses if she'll be able to sort of find her footing and show us the play that we know she's capable of. We know that she has a history of these really solid seasons. And she's also really solid behind the plate as her infield turns a double play,
Absolutely.
meaning
Darkbone's not a
she
hitter
has
you
now
want to.
faced the minimum number of batters.
Darkbone's not a hitter you want to see up, but with 2 outs, it's never as scary, and a quick line out to Yellow Magic at short means we're coming into the top of the second pretty quickly here. Rhiannon, Blue Critter, Yellow Yoshi batting. Lex in the chat mentioning, yeah, Monty gets along with the Shy Guys. I'm not sure who else. I think there might be one or two others, but that's generally his kind of best chem use.
Yeah, he's kind of known for being a bit of a quieter player. You know,
Not a quiet
not
player as Blue Critter
not
here.
antisocial, just a bit shy. As Blue Critter just narrowly clears that wall for a home run. Very nice.
Not shy at all. A really nicely placed ball from Blue Critter. Doesn't manage to bounce off of Bowser Jr., doesn't bounce off the wall. Really, that was just the trajectory you needed to drive that one out.
Yeah, almost landed it squarely in Bowser Jr.'s mouth.
Yellow Yoshi trying to do the same. But that one doesn't have the pop. He gets off the wall for a long double. You can't be unhappy about that. Unless you're Baby Peach, who has not been
Already
starting.
tired out.
Not been starting the way she wanted to start this game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Baby Peach, she didn't go to college. She hasn't built up that stamina. Frankly, I'm not sure she's gone to elementary school even. So very early on in her baseball career, but she's already shown herself to be a prodigy. I just have to wonder if she's not working herself toward an injury, having so much of a workload this early in her playing career.
Well, no injury now, as she is already coming out. Hey, you know, even if you're not pitching the best of the best, the fact that you're playing with the best of them at this young age is not something to be scoffed at.
Absolutely.
We are seeing an early switch here, August, so I am going to be looking to see if you've already sent me a substitution order. If you have and you want to change it, now would be a great time to do so. Alright, and per the NSLB, we do have rules that you are allowed to make other substitutions as you wish. The AI in this game would normally switch Bowser Jr. with Baby Peach and leave it at that, but this is an opportunity to make sure that your fielding is as you want it, so we're also going to move Baby Peach out to left. Bowser Jr. did not get a chance to pitch in Week 1. Not particularly impressive in Week 2. Gave up that shot from Bowser. This is really going to be a redemption arc from him, as Red Koopa at second base turns an excellent double play to keep the Flowers from putting up any more.
Yeah, that was such an important double play there. You know, if the runner's safe at first, not only do you still only have those 2 outs, but also a run would have been scored. So, really incredible defensive infield play there.
Now Daisy on the
K rolls up to this plate.
2-0 pitch
Doesn't
to
act as a home run threat, but a pow block and a changeup unfortunately isn't enough to convince K roll to make it to second. However, this is going to be Chem as Critter is up to the plate.
Absolutely, but Yellow Magic Koopa's got that one at short. K-Roll not a fast runner. He either goes one base or all of them. He doesn't really know any other numbers.
Yeah, there's a reason he's behind the plate. He's definitely not the fastest runner in the game.
You see a star pitch from Daisy. I was just going to say, you don't really want to have a lot of star pitches on 0-0 counts, but K-Roll is absolutely a batter where I would have advised it. Instead, she tries to give it to Goomba, who lets it by, but on the second pitch, just flies one out to deep center. Top of the third now. Flowers at
Absolutely.
the very end of their order and coming back around. Blooper, Monty Mole, Daisy. Bowser Jr. got a very acrobatic pitching style here. Really probably not the best use of what is a limited resource in stamina.
Yeah, and Blooper's going to be able to knock a ball off the wall for an easy double there. Bringing Monty Mole up to the plate, he's historically been having a really good season.
But starred Red Koopa
Swinging
at
through
second.
that Bowser Jr. star pitch was a bit questionable, and he does get punished by hitting into a double play.
I almost feel like we ought to have a separate category for infielders without super dives, and if we do, Red Koopa really playing with the best of them despite that handicap.
Yeah, really impressive. So far, it's been a very defensive oriented game. It feels a little bit wrong to even call it a pitcher's duel. Obviously, the pitchers are the ones inducing weak contact, but these infielders have just shown exactly why they are professionals. Although, just as I say that, August manages to get a hit and make it to first base.
One of his first of the year, if I'm not mistaken. No Mii's are, the Mii is never going to be your best hitter, but I think even by Mii standards, August kind of on the lower end of the batting. You really love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if Match could just get the bat around a little bit earlier, every now and then he can be a legitimate home run threat.
Contact single up the middle instead puts him on first. You've got runners on first and second with nobody out for Baby Peach. Daisy gonna see if she can fool her with a star pitch. She can, and Lakitu just calls it an infield fly to prevent any further damage.
It is interesting, once again, that this game does have the infield fly rule programmed into it.
I think it is pretty much just because of that star pitch. But,
yeah, I mean, it's great that it does. So, for those who do not know, when there are runners on first and second, if there is a pop fly in the infield, then the umpire can call it an infield fly while it's still in the air. That means it's already counted as an out, whether or not the fielder catches it. And the reason for that is because then, without the infield fly rule, it would be a 50-50. The fielder could choose not to catch it and then throw to third and second and get an easy double play, potentially even a triple. So it would be sort of a 50-50 game that's just not really in the spirit of baseball.
certainly better to have that rule than not. Rhiannon gets bored with a single, by the way. We've got 2 on, nobody out for Blue Critter, hitting the only score of this game with a home run. Chat appreciative of your baseball knowledge, as am I. Blue Critter drives one deep with a single. I saw a mention earlier that somebody was surprised to hear people talking positively about Red Koopa in a Mario Baseball AI League. That's the beauty of the NSLB, folks. No slugger left behind. Everybody plays. We're really going to see the best out of folks that normally might get passed up in favor of extra Miis or duplicate players. Like Yellow Yoshi. Probably not anybody's first choice, but thanks to the Chain Chomp giving Baby Peach some trouble in left, is going to get a 2 RBI single for the Flowers.
Yeah, yeah, if Baby Peach had been able to get that ball out of her glove just a bit faster.
You know, we're worried about her working herself onto an injury with her pitching. I think it's her duty in the outfield that's going to cause her more trouble.
Absolutely.
Double play clears
Also,
most of the
I will just
base
take a
paths.
moment to call out an incredibly funny play that is related to my Baltimore Orioles. Back in 2024, the Chicago White Sox, those who do not know, the 2024 Chicago White Sox ended up being the worst team of all time, found a new way to lose a game, I believe back in June of the season, when they lost a game on infield fly rule interference, which was a play that had everybody looking it up. Essentially, it was called an infield fly, and then the ump ruled that one of the runners had essentially tried to interfere with, I believe, the second baseman trying to catch the ball, therefore counting for another out, ending the game.
Speaking of infield flies, Daisy gave Red Koopa a star pitch there. The boo item just about kept her from finding it in time, but the throw was good. I think that's one you'd want to review. He definitely had a chance of being on the bag. Now K roll up, one on, one out. Goes for contact, though. His power hits really haven't been working out for him today, but the shell item keeps Rhiannon in center from making a throw fast enough to make an out. It's now 2 on, 1 out for Critter. Home run shot here ties this game up, and he's going to try for it. They've got the chemistry, but Yellow Yoshi doesn't have the air. That's one of those ones that's just too high to grab. A really admirable effort from Rhiannon and Yellow Yoshi, who were doing such a good job neutralizing the monsters week 1. But Green Critter is going to tie this one up with a 3-run shot.
Yeah, and I think that just shows there that that startup on Yoshi's double jump, even though it can be used for some incredible DJC plays, can be a real liability when you need to gain height quickly.
There's a very small number of outfielders in this game who have the ability to make their buddy jumps even higher. We don't see a lot of them playing in the outfield right now in the NSLB, but some folks may want to take a look at who they've got on their team, what abilities they can make use of to prevent things from like that from happening. Now, I don't believe that I've got any input from Rhiannon. I'm not sure that she's here. And okay. Oh, look at that. A message. Magic Koopa. That was what I was guessing. So Daisy's going to go to short. Magic Koopa going to enter onto the mound. I'm going to see if he can't do a little better. It is a shame. I'm a big fan of Daisy. Love the attitude, love the style, but her pitching in this game is a little weaker than she gives credit for. We've talked a lot about some underrated pitchers. I think Daisy might be a little overrated on the mound. Certainly serviceable, but Yellow Magic Koopa is really the one you want to see here.
Yeah, definitely can't reach the same heights that she could in, say, Stars on Superstars baseball.
I'm curious if there's a Superstars baseball AI. It seems like that could be an interesting way to change things up after if we get a few seasons deep and are looking for something new.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It definitely is a very fun game to play PvP. Anybody who has not tried it, go online and download Project Rio. There's a really good net play solution for it. And there's a really dedicated community. It's a lot of fun.
Magic Koopa gets him out of that inning. We are tied up at 3, going into the top of the 5th. Flowers batting blooper, Monty Mole Daisy. Now, the chat mentioning Daisy's got a great batting arm. She certainly can, but she has not shown it yet today.
Yeah, I mean, even the best of them, you're not going to hit a home run every single game. And the more power hitter oriented you are, the easier it is to be streaky.
One hitter who has shown up today, Monty Mole, another single.
Yeah, this guy's batting what, like 700?
I'll have to double check the stats, but after today, it's going to be even better because I don't think he's missed yet. Daisy hits a deep single, gets an extra base. Though. And Daisy did not run on that one. Honestly, I can't blame her too much. It really did look like Magic Koopa was under that one in center. But you gotta try. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Rhiannon here. Certainly the Flowers would like to get ahead a little bit as we get closer to the end of this, but Red Koopa at second is going to prevent that. Oh, did Monty hit a double play and I'm just missing it? He's still been a hell of a lot better than he ever was in the Triple SL.
Yeah, no, he's like... it feels kind of impossible for any hitter to not hit into a million double plays in CPU mode.
Yeah, unless you want to change everybody's batting trajectory manually with some stat adjustments, you're going to get your medium and low trajectory hitters.
Yeah, I also do worry a little bit about the fact that the bat does seem to be the skin of another mole, possibly one of his previous enemies. And you wonder what kind of intimidation factor that can have against any pitcher. As Baby Peach goes for a charge shot, it's out on what would be the warning track on any other park, and Magikoopa's already tired, unfortunately.
Has not lasted especially long. Pick off
Yeah,
at first, no
thankfully
good.
Paratroopa was able to get the throw off before the chain chomp caused a little bit of trouble.
Oh, Green Paratroopa misses that at second. Not quite the second baseman that Red Koopa's been for the rookies.
Yeah, with runners on first and second, Darkbones is a real hitter to contend with up here at the plate. With a tired Magikoopa, I totally understand using some of these stars here. I wouldn't even mind to see a couple more of them. But with Bowser getting such a big lead, that is going to be a double play.
Yeah, he opts for contact.
Gets Yellow Mage out of the inning without too much damage.
You really were hoping to see a charge swing from Darkbones there. Speaking of charge swings, Critter charges early on this one. Lets it go by, opts for contact on the second. Chain Chomp just giving Baby Peach so much trouble. We do not have any extra players in the NSLB. Please, kids, don't get yourselves killed out there.
Yeah, frankly, I don't even know what we would do if we got some injured players.
I guess we'd have to wait a week. But Yellow Yoshi doing his part to make sure nobody gets an injury, lining out into a double play to make this game go that much quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. It is something I wonder as well, with the Women's Professional Baseball League getting started this coming 2026 season with some exceptionally small rosters. I'm curious to see how impactful injuries are going to be over there. That takes place in a different world from this one, but I am really excited for it.
Switching Bowser Jr.
I like baseball.
Regular Magikoopa here. We're going to have a... No. Ain't that something? Outfield does not improve significantly from this, but pitching does. Magikoopa pitching to Magikoopa. A good line drive from Yellow Mage just pulls foul by a foot or two.
Yeah, that's one of those shots where if you can do it, you just go for that exact shot every single time, right? If it's a 50-50 foul or hit, you like those odds.
Absolutely, and you can always keep fighting off that third strike and wearing down a pitcher. Green Critter gives up on that one as it gets past him in short. Decides to let Bowser Jr. field it instead. And Blooper, true to his name, hits one out into center left. 2 outs,
and the perfect
bases
place
loaded.
for some heroics by Monty Mole. You know, for all those low leverage singles that he's hit, this is kind of the situation where you really want to prove himself.
Charges one up on the off speed, but Bowser Jr. is under it. I was rooting for you, buddy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Monty Mole, despite having a quite high batting average, you have to wonder if that win probability added stat isn't going to be a lot lower than you might expect.
Flowers also not interested in pitching with Yellow Magikoopa. Certainly not as a tired player at any rate. I did get some... I do have Rhiannon in my ear here. Blooper is going to be our next substitution. And hopefully given that the Flowers are now pitching in the bottom of the 6th, bloopers should be all they need. King K. Rool going to try and make sure there's no bottom of the 7th for them to need a pitcher, but Rhiannon's got that one. Unlike Critter's shot earlier, this one does not have the height. They are able to get underneath it. This game still tied at 3. Rookies, 1 out, nobody on for Green Critter. Home run hitter.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure how much of this you can really attribute to Blooper as opposed to some outfield heroics. But he is managing to hang in there at least.
And Blooper, master of the speedy off-speed. His off-speed, I guess, more of an on-speed. Finally uses one there. Goomba lines it out. Tied at 3 in the 7th. We have not had a game go to extras yet in the NSLB. This might be our chance to see it happen.
Yeah, the Flowers would love to put themselves in a safe situation here. Potentially even put up some crooked numbers here. Really give themselves the best chance of finishing out this game as quickly as possible. And Toad, you know, really
Yellow Toad.
really solid contact swinger. This should land on the wall.
Does.
I'm not sure if that hit the wall or just behind Bowser Jr., but either way, in combination with the POW block, ends up being a double for Toad.
Almost
and
an
Rhiannon,
out.
he's going to have that chemistry there with Yellow Toad. And a tired Magikoopa, she could really make something happen here.
That was almost an out thanks to some greedy base running by Yellow Toad, but he got back to the bag in time. And now Blue Critter up with 1 out, runners on the corners for the rookies, who are going to need to go to their 4th pitcher. This is the first time in the NSLB we've needed a 4th string pitcher. August in the chat, not 100% sure. I don't blame you, buddy. I wasn't necessarily expecting it either. Let's hope that Blooper's got the stamina for the Flowers to keep them from having to switch too. K. Rool coming off from behind the plate to get on the mound. Baby Peach gonna backstop. Boy, Baby Peach backstopping for K. Rool. If pitching and the chain chomps weren't gonna hurt her, this might. Magikoopa going out in the left.
Yeah, and now August just really has to desperately hope nothing goes out into the outfield. This is possibly one of the weakest outfield configurations that August could have.
And Blue Critter up, but the charge hit doesn't quite have it. Charge hit does not get out of the infield.
Managing to dive, grabbing the ball, and touching second base in one move was absolutely instrumental for Critter making that double play. Just shows why Greg Critter is one of the best shortstops in the league.
And if the Flowers lose this one here, it's going to sting watching their best chance go by like that. They really need to play some defense and try and get out to... try and get into extras now. But August getting on first is not the way to do it. Magikoopa gonna hit a single up the middle.
Yeah, and you know, with 0 outs, I would actually love to see Baby Peach show bunt here. Right, if you can just get that runner over to August to hit a sac fly. Unfortunately, instead, it's going to be a double play, nearly a triple play. The situation is looking so much worse for the rookies than it was just a moment ago.
Bowser Jr., Red Koopa, not the hitters you would like to have up in this situation. Not the worst on the team for sure, though. As Bowser
And that
Jr.
is just going to knock fair. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't send Madge home there.
No, Magic Koopa's quite slow. All those, turns out playing baseball in baggy robes. Not ideal, but they insisted. I think the magic catch doesn't work without the costume. And now they're going
And
for the
oh
squeeze
my
bunt.
god, Magic Koopa is going for a suicide squeeze. The green shell will end the game.
The suicide squeeze with the chemistry item. Blue Critter comes off the bag at first, gets hit by the green shell. Goodness, what a way to go. The rookies just love to win and lose at the absolute last chance. I guess I'm thankful for them. Thankful for them keeping it interesting.
Yeah, a suicide squeeze with 2 outs is absolutely unhinged. But the green shell allowed Red Koopa, you have to wonder if that wasn't one of Red Koopa's friends kind of coming in for the fix there.
They gotta they gotta start letting people throw turtle shells in the MLB. That's really what'll make things interesting.
I just unbelievable. What a way for a game to end.
What a
And
way
all
for a
of
game
this
to end.
in conjunction with the green Koopa shell, only possible because Koopa laid the most insane bunt towards first base you've ever seen.
Bunting a stat in this game, some people are generally better at it, and it's interesting. The AI in this game has some tendencies that are a little odd, as we're quickly learning here in the NSLB. I can tell you the Mario Super Sluggers has a single player mode. It's a campaign. You do some challenges. You'll recruit players as you go. And one of the challenges that this game makes you do is score on a squeeze bunt. It insists. This game loves the squeeze bunt. I don't know how common it is in the real MLB, but this game is telling you it's an integral part of the game, and Red Koopa showing that tonight with a nail-biting win at home for the rookies.
Yeah, these days it's quite uncommon.
But how many buddy jumps do you see in the MLB either?
So there's this guy named Denzel Clark. He plays for the Oakland Athletics, now the West Sacramento Athletics, soon to be the Las Vegas
I was gonna
Athletics.
say no Oakland anymore.
God, I'm so fucking pissed. But regardless, he's made some catches that you wouldn't believe. He's had some times he's almost gone over the outfield wall. Pretty much, he played 4 games, and everyone was like, "Yeah, I guess he's just the best center fielder in baseball."
Must be.
Or is he their center fielder or their left fielder? I forget. He's got to be their center fielder. That would be insane if he weren't. Yeah,
Speaking
he
of
is.
center fielders, Rhiannon a little disappointed at the miss on that 3-run homer grab. You know, like I said before, the buddy jump is not impenetrable. It wouldn't be the same game if it were. So, as much as you hate to see it, some of them are some of them you're gonna miss. Yellow Yoshi definitely didn't miss it by much. I don't know if we could have challenged the play somehow, but still, you can't be too mad at a very tight game. Very good one for the rest of us watching. If that makes you feel any better, you put on a hell of a show. And we've got one more tonight. Gonna be our nightcap. We're gonna head to DK Jungle at night. Bowser Monsters at the DK Wilds. I'm gonna step aside, stretch my legs for just a second. Let Iris introduce you folks to this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick note, as frustrating as these losses can be sometimes, we do have, I believe, a 16 game regular season, so absolutely plenty of chances to go up or down in the standings. But here we have our final game of the night. We have the Bowser Monsters on the left side. Really can't count out any team that has Bowser on it. This is going to be piloted by East Zach we've got Green Koopa in center field, Green Drybones playing third baseman, Zach out in left field, Bowser playing second base, interestingly. Red Paratroop is manning first base. Boo has a star and is going to be the shortstop. Green Madge is taking the mound. Right field's going to be Drybones. And Blue Noki out in center. Or at catcher, excuse me. So really interesting team. You're really hoping that your Dry Bones and your me are going to be able to get on base for Bowser to drive them home. Bowser in his first outing had actually a pretty disappointing game. This past week though really showed what he's capable of. Any team that has Bowser on it is capable of putting up insane numbers.
He for sure
And
is. I'm back. Sorry, just stepping in. I'm gonna
yeah, and then over on the DK Wilds, we have Calvin's team. Uh, Interestingly, the only 2-0 team.
Not
And
the only 2-0 team, but the only one playing tonight.
or sorry, the only 2-0 team playing tonight. Christian, my co-com here, his Knights are 2-0, but he has the bye. So we've got a team with Tiny Kong in right field, Calvin in center, DK catching, Baby DK playing first, Diddy's taking the mound, Baby Luigi has the star out at shortstop, Baby Mario in left field, Boshi is playing third base, and Dixie Kong at second.
Yeah,
Uh,
some
it's a team
really
that's completely exceeding expectations. I, the chemistry's there. The average level of player, perhaps not what we would expect from a 2-0 team. We'll have to see how they're able to fare tonight.
yeah, some truly bold fielding changes from Calvin. Almost everybody on the Wilds playing a different position than they were last week.
Yeah,
And
at a certain point, you have to wonder if this is like a guerrilla Monte Carlo simulation happening before our very eyes, and eventually Calvin will be locked into the correct team configuration. However, he's tied for the best win record in the lead and has the potential this week, with Christian having the bye, to take an unambiguous first place. So he must be doing something right, I suppose.
he must be doing something right. Anything is possible. No, Calvin's in the chat thinking I call him bold like he screwed something up. No, no, man. Look, Uberlord we have one of our fans in the chat here, absolutely stunned that Baby Luigi would be getting the star. I think almost any of the rest of us here in the NSLB are not questioning Baby Luigi getting the star. So unconventional plays absolutely can pay off in this league. Don't count anybody out. And I see you're on Twitch here for the live. We do have a YouTube. It is at salad_bucket. It may or may not be in the description, depending on how well I set up OBS. Lives are archived there, and you are more than welcome to watch the DK Wilds go into the Ice Garden last week. It was a real great game, and Baby Luigi really did show up at shortstop there. So I'm sure Calvin's hoping he does tonight. As the commissioner, I'm just waiting to see what happens. As the Knights owner, maybe I have a favorite in this one. So with all of that said, why don't I get us started on game 4 here?
Yeah, it is interesting. As is being pointed out in the chat, I'm not sure what color Calvin is, but there's no way that he could possibly have outfield chem with both Tiny Kong, or wait, was it Tiny Kong or Baby Kong out there?
Tiny Kong and Baby
with both Tiny
Mario.
Kong out there and Baby Mario.
Calvin has chemistry with neither, as Brown, though he does have chemistry with DK for the batting order. Green Drybone's going to get one over Dixie Kong. 2 on, no outs. The Monsters coming in early. Zach batting third. You're hoping to see another one of those famous double plays, because if you don't, you've got Bowser up, bases loaded.
Mm-hmm. or a fly up would still be, the potential for managing great Earl Weaver's favorite play of all time, the 3-run home run. Instead, we are going to have bases loaded for Bowser.
This is Diddy Kong's first week starting, and you're really gonna see what he's capable of right here. This is a true test of strength for any pitcher. And Bowser jams
I
that
mean,
one
look,
inside for a double play. Still brings one home in Green Koopa, but props to Diddy Kong for getting out of that one.
yeah, absolutely. Frankly, in that situation, if it's me playing, I don't even care. I'm intentionally hitting Bowser. Keep him to 1 run. Diddy has more stones than me though, and is quite rewarded for it. Keeping the damage to only 1 run.
And a good dive from Dixie Kong at second stopped the inning. Dixie Kong, funny enough, one of the only Wilds players not changing positions, despite a pretty poor showing on second last week. Owner Calvin has some faith in her, and maybe she's going to prove him right this week. Autumn, my center fielder in the chat, telling me I'm giving Calvin a hard time. Well, look, Dixie Kong did not perform last week. That's simply an unavoidable fact. Whether she does this week, we can only see.
Yeah, and we have the star of Calvin's team here, unfortunately lining out sharply to left field. Donkey Kong is absolutely where you're expecting essentially any chance of a home run to come from.
Not a home run hitter is Boo, but chemistry item and a little bit of confusion in the outfield. Going to make sure that single is secure. Calvin in center's got Green Magic Koopa's line, though. You've got 1 on, 1 out for Dry Bones. Certainly not a hitter you want to count out. Showing charge.
Yeah, should be easily caught by Baby Mario or Baby Luigi. They're giving each other moral support. They're cracking jokes out there.
Baby Luigi, the star fielder of this team, has to come up from short just to grab that one in the shallow left field. And Blue Noki, absolute dead last pick in this league, who really was instrumental to the Monsters' win last week, gonna get on base again. But Dixie Kong at second is on top of a charged grounder from Green Koopa. Goose egg for the Monsters. Wilds batting Baby DK, Diddy Kong, Baby Luigi in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't get much worse than this. Although, as if to prove me wrong, Baby DK does make it to first base.
Among the hitters, Baby DK, or among the babies, Baby DK certainly one of the better hitters.
Yeah, and Diddy Kong's one of those players you wonder if he could just get a bit of a longer bat, could he be just an absolute monster behind the plate? Or at the plate, rather. As it is, he manages to hit a single. We've got, I don't believe there's any chem between Baby Luigi and Baby DK.
No, I don't believe there is. Yoshis and babies generally have good chem. But Baby Luigi, not just a shortstop, not just a pretty face, going to get a single, bases loaded with no outs for Baby Mario.
Who absolutely does have chem with Baby Luigi here.
And with Blue Yoshi, who's up next with an item.
Yeah, this is where, if you're a Monsters fan, you really hope Madge knows how to strike out the side.
Baby Mario is going to get one down.
Yeah, thankfully holds the damage to just 1 run. But already this is a concerning situation, as the game is now all tied up. with the bases loaded for Blue Yoshi.
And no outs to
Absolutely
boot.
capable of hitting into a double play, which still would at least score a run.
Yeah, you know, Magic Koopa's traditionally pretty good pitchers. We've seen him in this league. Green Magic Koopa, maybe not delivering on that level right now, but only in the bottom of the second. Still opportunities for him to show something. But with 3 balls, he's got to put something over the plate now. Can't be walking in a run.
Oh my god, triple play? Oh
Triple
my goodness!
play from the big man Bowser at second. Shuts that down.
That's absolute heroics from Bowser are exactly what Garage needed there. Holy.
This game stays tight, 1-1 in the top of the third. Boo item and the flaming barrel going by in the
That could
outfield.
be a triple. And it will be effectively a triple there. It will at least be 3 score bases. You know, I'm not sure how stage hazards really factor into the error calculation here. It's kind of up to the scorekeeper's discretion.
Scorekeeper does not want to try and hassle with how many errors this league has. Just gonna kind of call him as he sees them. Banana Ball is grounded out. Baby DK comes up off the bag at first. Leaves Diddy Kong at pitcher to go stand on it for the throw.
Mm-hmm.
Now you had a weak...
Yeah, it was kind of interesting seeing Bones cling over to third base there. I think it makes sense, especially with Bowser up at the plate.
Yeah, you're absolutely not worried about getting in with Bowser coming up. 2 strikes now.
Although Bowser, he's kind of been underperforming, and Diddy Kong finally is being...
Strikes out Bowser. Bowser.
Is that the first time we've actually seen a 2-strike start pitch in this league?
No, but it is the first time... No. I was going to say I think it's the first time we've seen a 2-strike start pitch get us out, but Bowser has thrown a few strikeouts with bullet pitches on 2 strikes. Dixie Kong's still going to make an error at second, though, and let somebody through. Diddy Kong putting in all that work to neutralize the big man, and you just hate to see that dive get bobbled.
Yeah, and unfortunately, having already given up 2 runs, this game is not going to be Diddy's Kong Quest, as that is another single that Dixie just can't get her glove on.
So many changes on this Wilds roster, but the middle infield untouched. But this is a routine ball for Dixie Kong. At the very least, she can get one of those weak fly balls. Monsters put up another. Dixie Kong, Tiny Kong, Calvin up to bat. Gonna need to answer.
And Dixie Kong there, very patient hitter. Dry Bones had some really unfortunate pathing glitching there. That combined with the fireballs is going to allow Dixie to make it to second on a tired Green Madge. Tiny's up at the plate. Bowser once again turns a double play. You have to imagine it would have been a triple play if he could have. Really just showing that being a big body out out second can put you in a good position to just field everything that comes your way.
As he gets that line out from Calvin, too. Wilds will be batting come the bottom of the 4th. Donkey Kong first with nobody available to get on base first. You kind of like that situation. What you don't like is a tired Diddy Kong pitching to Dry Bones. But who else but star shortstop Baby Luigi is on it.
Star shortstop and starred shortstop. Just really staying on top of things somehow.
Dixie Kong takes a lesson from him. Manages to grab that one at second. And it is 2 outs, nobody on for Green Koopa. Monsters are at the top of their order again. Green Koopa is going to get on first.
And it's a little bit early on. But dare I call him Baby Wit Jr. out there at shortstop?
All right, Diddy Kong looking to be taken off the mound. Calvin, I know, hanging out here. Hopefully he's still watching and not through his fingers. DK on the mound. I think that's a fine choice. Any other changes I should be making at this time? I'll give him a minute and have another sip of my pint. All right, Diddy Kong gonna go out to right. Tiny Kong going to get backstopping.
Yeah, I'll admit, not quite the way that I would have reconfigured things, but hopefully it'll work out here for Calvin.
Yeah, without anything else, I'm gonna let this one go.
Yeah.
If you're looking to make big changes, Calvin, you can always just tell me to check my Discord or put in larger messages at a time, because I don't want to wait indefinitely. Drybone's gonna hit a deep one with Koopa on. It gets off the wall. That's gonna be an RBI double for Green Drybones.
Yeah, very nicely done. So close to being a home run.
The chat looking for your expert advice.
Now here's the thing. It does feel just a little bit unfair in a situation where the owners are able to hear my advice to dole it out mid-game.
As long as you're relatively even-handed with it, I suppose. Certainly, we have a pretty good season. Everybody's gonna learn a thing or two. Donkey Kong pitching to Bowser. Now, Diddy Kong, for all his faults at the plate, has done a really good job neutralizing the big man today. 2 outs, man on third. Can DK get him out of it? No. No, he cannot. Absolute no doubter from Bowser. There's not an outfield in this league that was going to manage that one. They can be either too high or too fast for the buddy jump, and that was most certainly the latter.
Yeah, on one hand, you feel good that your outfield configuration didn't cost you that home run. On the other hand, you're down 5 runs.
On the other hand, you hate to lose it. A 4 spot from the Monsters. Donkey Kong, Baby DK, Diddy Kong batting next. Bottom of the 4th, Wild's down by 5. Green Magic Koopa tired and still staying in. Donkey Kong tries to answer, but it pulls foul into left. Goes for it again. And it pulls again.
Will be pulling foul again, unfortunately.
He wants it so badly. I don't blame him. But goes out looking for a curveball on strike 3. Trying so hard for the big ones and just had to let it go. Green Magic Koopa whips that one by Baby DK's ear. Swings on strike 2. And jams that one inside. Bowser's got it at second. Honestly, at this pace, Green Magic Koopa might be a better pitcher tired than he is fresh.
Yeah, it kind of boggles the mind that he's still in there.
Still in there and doing pretty well for it. But there we see Bowser's weakness at second. He is big, but he is slow. So Diddy Kong is going to get on with a single. 1 on, 2 out for Baby Luigi. Relying on a baby to save your game. He's going to try, but he's a baby. He just doesn't have the power to get that one out of the park.
Yeah, Bob, just a skosh too slow to make a difference on that play.
Owner Zach in left field under that one. Monsters now batting Boo, Green Magic Koopa, And I did not see who was in the hole, but we will in short order. Another one from Boo going out left. A lot of big drives going out into left foul territory. And Baby Luigi
Yeah,
makes his first miss at short. A good jump, but it just maybe went a little too early.
yeah. Now I know in Superstars, Boo has the curve attribute on all of his hits, so they will curve in the direction they are hit. I'm not sure how true that is in this game.
I
If it is
believe
a thing, it's definitely less pronounced.
I believe in Super Sluggers, Boo does have that ability, but on his star hits.
Gotcha.
The Magic Koopas as well have curved star hits. And Baby Luigi, again, a single from Dry Bones gets missed. Boo doesn't run at second. He's sure that Baby Luigi's got it. And by sheer intimidation, Baby Luigi keeps that from getting worse than it already was. But Blue Noki grounds out into a double play, and so the Monsters unable to do any damage that inning, though they get close. Calvin, owner of the Wilds, now considering chemistry in the chat. Maybe that's not the ideal time to start thinking about it, but ideal, better now than never.
Mm-hmm. As Bowser flashes the leather once again, Green Mage is still out there, pitched 5 1/3 innings, most of them tired.
And still held the Wilds to 1 in all that time.
I mean, you just have to hope there's no Tommy John in his future.
He is done now. I am not sure. Owner of the Bowser Monsters, Zach, been having a bit of a crazy week. Was talking to me about it if he needed. Going to Bangkok soon enough.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got a big old conference to get to, working on his doctorate in chemical engineering. So you can expect him to be busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't blame him for not dedicating as much time to something as silly as baseball.
And the world needs wastewater treatment plants, so I am not complaining. I do not see a pitching order, so Starred Boo has always come in as reliever in the past 2 weeks, so I'm going to do that again. Get a super dive at shortstop, and probably Bowser will come in third if needed. Boo certainly does not have a lot of stamina, but tired pitchers can do you a lot of favors in this league, as we've seen. And Boo,
Absolutely.
throwing these pitches with such force, his whole body's got to spin after him. But for all the acrobatics, he does not manage to prevent Dixie Kong from getting aboard. It is 2 on with 1 out for Tiny Kong, who's hit into at least 1 double play today. Really need her not to do the same this time. And she does not. Gets on with a single. Bases are loaded with 1 out for Calvin. If he can keep this alive,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's up next, and the Wilds have their best shot at getting back into this right now.
Unfortunately,
He does not.
that is gonna be a double play.
He does not keep it alive. Tiny Kong avoid the double play, but Calvin does not. Another goose egg for the Wilds. And as we head into the top of the 6th, this game's score is starting to look pretty set in stone.
And Donkey Kong already tired on the mound.
He's been throwing them fast. Another jump from Baby Luigi. You know, you hate to see it. Baby Luigi's been doing so well. He's missing a few of these. Hasn't made any errors that I would call critical yet, but certainly a few grabs you would have liked to see him have.
Hmm.
Zach hits a really good single up the first base line. Gonna get an extra base and drive home Koopa. And for everything I say about this game being set in stone, the Monsters changed that by putting on one more. Donkey Kong tired, not interested in pitching to Bowser right now. I can understand it, but I'm not sure who the Wilds are going to go to as their third string.
Yeah. Calvin's in the chat here, so that is his choice to make.
It is, and he's got a lot to say. He doesn't know. Okay. Well, I can hover over here and take a look with you. You do have,
And
I think...
Calvin wants to be on the mound.
I do believe he's got the highest stat of anybody left. Except Baby Luigi, but... Come on, Baby Luigi's shortstop is quickly turning into the hallmark of the NSLB. You hate to pull him away.
And that would at least put... Oh, wait. Calvin's saying Tiny in center?
DK gonna continue to backstop. It will keep chemistry out. Baby Mario, Baby DK gonna switch. And the Kong.
Oh, okay.
And the Kongs
That's
have
interesting.
the Kongs have a chem outfield now. Baby Mario gonna go to first. We'll see how he manages there. Is that
There are certainly worse lineups you could have here.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I see. All right. Well, I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this going before Cowboy Zach changes things up even more. Apologize. I will move Dixie to left field if we have another change, but I don't think Dixie versus Baby DK out in left is gonna make a big difference. An error item will, though, as a buddy throw back to home is very impressive to look at, but doesn't come out in time. Calvin really doing his best here to try and just help the run differential.
And that is another triple play. This time Bowser's on the other side of it. He's slow. That's gonna be the price that you pay some percentage of the time. You really kind of don't want him plugging up the base paths. Another guy here who doesn't want to be on the base path at all, Donkey Kong. He wants it so bad. He's swinging for the fences.
But he's only managing to land him in left foul territory. Until now. Donkey Kong finally hits a solo shot here, but that trot around the base paths is bittersweet, to say the least.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel like it's just too little too late, as the Wilds are still down by a grand slam and a half.
In the bottom of the sixth, to boot. Bowser going to move him a third of an inning closer with a good play at second. You know,
yeah,
Bowser...
just a bit higher traj, a bit more exit velocity on that ball could have been something. Diddy's going to go for his star swing. Could make a play for second. I don't know if he could have quite gotten there, though, even if he had gotten an incredible jump.
If you're the Wilds, every out counts right now. You do not want to be playing risky on the base paths.
Yeah, to a certain extent, that is the issue, as it looked like Bowser and Diddy Kong literally made contact there, but Bowser did not apply the tag.
Might not have had the ball in time. Hard to say for sure. Now, Green Magic Koopa makes a good catch at short. Error item.
Diddy, what the hell?
The error item gets in the way of both him and the runner, but Diddy Kong gets back in time. So now it's runners on first and second with 2 outs for Blue Yoshi. Blue Yoshi keeps it alive.
Showing he's still got a little bit of those superstar days in him. You know, he remembers when he was Ricky Henderson.
2 outs, bases loaded for Dixie Kong, who has 1 home run this year, and it's in this park. She's really trying for a second. Can the Pow Ball stop him? No. Pow Ball does not come out in time. You really have to wonder what they were doing with that item. That absolutely could have changed things right there. I don't know that that had the power to get out of the stadium. May have been a deep double off the roots, but certainly the Wilds can't help but be wondering if they watch their difference maker just go by. But if you can't beat them, you can at least do your best to save the run differential. Dixie Kong at second, making a play. Maybe not where it counts, but making a play.
Yeah, and with run differential being the tiebreaker, every run does count in some sense.
You certainly don't want to just let them go by, right? If you're gonna lose, make it close.
Now, I don't know all of the details, but I would assume head-to-head would be an earlier tiebreaker than run differential.
Yeah, I believe it's obviously wins, and then head-to-head, and then run differential. I've been sorting right now, due to the bye week, as wins first, then losses, then run differential. But by the time we're at the point where it really counts, which is to say the playoffs, everyone will have played the same number of games, and head-to-head will come into play. Every team playing every other team twice, once at home, once away in this league. And Bowser overthrows to Green Magic Koopa, who comes in from second. Boo getting tired, getting shy. 2 on with Donkey Kong up. A 3-run shot would put the Wilds at least a little closer, and with no outs, it's not looking easy, but it's not looking impossible either. But Donkey Kong goes contact where you really needed power. It is going to be a single with an extra base to get Tiny Kong home, and some trouble with the pathing over the roots in the outfield is going to make it a 2 RBI single. My goodness! I was so busy watching the base paths, I barely even noticed that. Koopa makes 3 dives at that ball before Zach has to come in and set him straight.
And all that time, Donkey Kong stayed on first.
And all that time, Donkey Kong stayed on first. All right. The Monsters, Boo is just so flabbergasted by what he witnessed that he doesn't even want to pitch anymore.
Yeah, and like, for the record, I'm perfectly happy with the contact there. The only nice thing about getting a home run there would be there's not as much concern about that double play, but you are already skating on a razor thin edge where even getting 1 out just feels like death.
Fair enough. And we're going to have to see what the chemistry section of the Wilds lineup does now. But I know that we're not getting any input from Zach, owner of the Monsters, so I'm going to bring in Bowser. They've got 3 good pitchers, and we're going to see the 3rd one here tonight. Bowser done a pretty fine job at second base, even counting that 1 overthrow we just saw. But he's really at home on the mound. One out, 1 on for the Wilds here. Bottom of the 7th. They put up 4, they can get this into extra innings, but Bowser's automatic strike of a star pitch going to do his best to make sure that doesn't happen. Does not use 1 to secure the strikeout, though. That's a single from Diddy Kong, 2 on, 1 out.
That's exactly what you want to see from Diddy Kong. And now Baby Luigi at the plate, trying to make his case for Rookie of the Year.
And he does...
Once again, that's another single. And now that creates the chemistry with Baby Mario, with Blue Yoshi in the on-deck circle.
Bowser opens with a star pitch. He does have enough to use all three, but he's not going to, hoping to just intimidate Baby Mario, which seems to work as terrible contact. Grounds that one straight to Bowser on the mound. Double play. Wild's going to lose this one at home by 4.
Yeah,
At
I'm
least
not
it's a pretty
entirely sure about the
stadium.
merits of the 1-2-3 double play, but it's a double play nonetheless. As long as they turn it, you can't be upset.
And Baby Mario living in the shadow of his brother Baby Luigi. How often do you hear that? As he just ends the Wild's chances. They were slim to begin with, but that certainly closed it up. Well, folks, that's our league tonight. As the Knights owner, I get to stay in first a little bit longer. 3 weeks in, not a single team goes to 3-0. Gonna see if I can't change that in week 4 for yous.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh,
I think some of our owners starting to learn the importance of the lineup. Calvin in the chat mentioning we'll probably not do some R&D. Well, here's the thing. Game 3, Monarchs at Muscles. Nate put a lot of effort into that Muscles lineup, and Zach mentioned that they were just gonna throw something at the wall and see what stuck, and that's what came out on top. It's a crazy league, and you gotta love it for that. Now, next week, week 4, we're gonna be opening with the Wilds, who are gonna get their chance to try and get back on top of things by going to the Cruiser to play the Rhiannon Flowers. Game 2, we've got the Muscles still in the hunt for their first win. Going against a tough team, though, going to be headed to Bowser Stadium to play the Monsters, who have clearly established themselves as a bit of a threat here. Game 3, the Iris Fireballs, going to be going to the Ice Garden, playing the West Zach Monarchs, who, again, good showing tonight. Monarchs put up more runs than the Fireballs did tonight, but that doesn't mean anything in this league. Week to week, things can get crazy. And we will be ending next week with the Luigi Knights going on the road to Yoshi Park, going to play the Cowboy Zach Bows. It's going to be an interesting week for sure. Teams starting to come into their own. Some owners feel like they've got it figured out. Some feel like they've got some time left to go. Remember to train, but don't overtrain. The last thing you need is your whole team wiped out before you even start.
Absolutely.
Well, I haven't gotten any calls about PD Piranha or Brown Critter needing bail money, so I'm going to guess that the Knights bye-week celebration was a success. So I will be seeing all of them at Yoshi Park next week. And thank you all, of course, for coming. Congratulations to our winners. Iris, anything to say before I sign us off?
Just that's gonna do it from us here at No Slugger Left Behind. Be sure to follow the channel. We're streaming both on Twitch and YouTube. Go follow the channels. We'll be here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Join the Discord as well if you have not already. And from all of us here at No Slugger Left Behind, we'll see you next time.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Have a nice night, folks.